What's going on, everybody? Hey, happy Thursday evening. It is halftime on the Thursday night football game, so I figured I have some energy left, so I wanted to jump in here and actually do a live stream um, from a based on a comment that I got today um, regarding price shoppers. So if you guys are in here seeing this, hashtag live, hashtag replay, helps spread the word, helps get the content out to other great accountants and, helping keeping the good fight going. Okay. Hope you guys are having a great Christmas, New Year's week, whatever this week is called. Okay. Let's see, making sure that we're live. Good. Hello, let me know that you guys are in here because I can't tell who's here, but let me mute this. And I put up a cheat sheet here where I can reference the question and go through this with you guys. So, and I'm learning, I zoomed in on this, so we're good to go. Okay. Um, let me share my screen and we'll jump into it. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see this okay. I'm gonna look on my screen too to see how it looks on the live stream. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Cool. So we're going to talk today about the three things that we need to focus on to stop getting price shopped. If you guys want a copy of this cheat sheet and the notes that I took that I'm going to go over on this, just comment pricing, drop a pricing below. I'll get these notes over to you. Okay. Um, if you guys have any other questions on this, I'll ask again, but follow up with me on this. Okay. But Rob mentioned on my post today, um, about something that we want to change for 2024. And Rob, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you engaging on that post. But he mentioned people not questioning the price. I do enough research to make sure my pricing is pretty competitive in my area. Um, Yet people will question the pricing periodically. Okay. But when you go to the restaurant and you don't, when you go to the restaurant, you don't try and negotiate the menu pricing, right? Good point. So let's boil this down to a problem. Okay. Um, Problem, prospects are price shopping me and complaining about price. That's I think if I just boil that down to the pain point of the problem here, that's what I'm hearing. Okay. And I also I notice periodically, um, and I see that there's research being done, so there's some focus on competitors in the area and their pricing. So I'm going to break down a few components here that I think are really important that are going to help minimize and reduce people price shopping you. Okay. And let's dive into it. So, um, first of all, when I saw, I do enough research to make sure my pricing is pretty competitive. You're really looking at your competitors in that situation to decide what are my prices adequate or my prices in the right spot. Um, Focus in where we're at now in this world, focusing on being competitive by price in your area in this industry is a losing battle. People, if they want to, they can get help offshore. They can get virtual help anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. And I promise you, it can be cheaper than what you could provide it for. Okay. If people want cheaper, they're going to find it. They're going to find cheaper. So we can't compete on price. Okay. Um, so let's stop trying. Let's not try, let's not keep going that route. It's a race to the bottom. It leads in frustration, leads in headaches, it leads to it leads to burnout, it leads to client resentment, leads to all the pain points and all the problems and all the emotional, struggles that come up in this industry by trying to work with too many people, bringing in too many people at, just enough to get by prices. So that said, I think you're probably getting pricing objections, right? So how can we differentiate ourselves from the competitor down the street? The competitor, right? I don't believe in competition. We're all helping each other in this industry. There's more than enough to go around for everybody, but how do we differentiate ourselves and stand out when we're selling accounting services, tax services? Two big points here that I want to cover are personalization slash intimacy, okay, and positioning. And okay, so we're going to talk about this as well as a third component. So if you guys are catching this, let me know that you're in here, drop a comment. It's good to see you guys, make sure that you guys are catching this. Okay, so let's talk about personalization. So building intimacy. No, not that kind of intimacy, guys, right? Talking about like intimacy in communication, intimacy in the relationship building, okay? Um, there's a lot of components in where we can make our service and make our relationship with our clients more personalized, okay? Uh, so on the marketing end, one way that we can really feel like our what we do fits people like a glove is by niching and segmenting down. Um, Ideally in your marketing, niching down in your marketing. Um, so also using personalized communication, being more personalized when you're reaching out to prospects and things like that is another way. I'm just going to focus on niching for this briefly. This is a whole other topic, a whole other boat. So I'm not going to get too deep here, but I know that this is a big thing. Um, but niching allows you to segment down and really make your content more specific so that your prospects really feel like, hey, this person's talking specifically to me. Okay. I love niching down by industry. I think it's very effective, probably the most effective in what I recommend. You can really leverage industry jargon, softwares, tools in your messaging, in your components, and that's gonna like just grab people's ears when you put in your content those things that really resonate with them. So I just put an example like you can grab people's attention with top 5 ways to increase construction job profitability, and maybe there you're using jargon and terminology and vocab that they would use like workers and job sites and bids and just these little terminologies. And when they see these words, they know that you're specifically material costs, materials, labor. So they know that you're specifically talking to them. And it's not just, hey, everybody, I have this awesome service, like come check me out, right? It's too noisy out there. There's too many messages, it's so noisy. We really have to focus and hone in our messaging so that we really stick out. Okay. Um, so another one that I could recommend for some of you guys, you guys can also consider niching down by locality. Okay. So I'm a Ravens fan, by the way, if you guys don't know. So you could have a post about like that's relevant to your locality that you're focused in, okay, and your geography that you're focused in. So how our response time is faster than Lamar Jackson. So, for those of you guys that don't follow football, that's a super fast quarterback on the Ravens, right? So that, when you're using celebrities that are local, you're using, geography, historical sites, geography, just whatever's relevant in that area. If a snowstorm hits, you can use these things and that's going to grab a lot of attention too, and really kind of take that content and really blanket it into, really incorporate it into like your service and what you do and the pain points that you solve, and that'll attract attention. So these are examples of niching. And just so that you guys know, please, before you guys like say, no, I don't want to niche, that doesn't mean turning away business or dropping clients that aren't in the niche. It's basically just for marketing purposes, just for when you are doing lead generation activities, really segmenting down. Okay. Um, the biggest opportunity here that I want to talk about on here that I think is the biggest, really, I think there's a huge opportunity here, and that's in our sales communications and in our initial conversations with new prospects, new clients, and honestly, current clients. I think when we're having these conversations with um, inbound leads, inbound prospects, we're probably staying pretty surface level, what's going on in the accounting, in your accounting, what software are you on, how many transactions do you have, why are you leaving your last person? But we're not really zooming out to really get a bigger picture of what's going on in their business and just really getting a bigger, more macro understanding of their business. And I just think by asking some questions, I don't think I know by asking some questions, that are about the higher level ambitions that they have for their goal for their business. Like why did they start their business? What do they want to do in the next year? Do they have an exit plan? Like asking some of these questions really gets them excited about where they're going in the business, and it gives you the information that you need to really make your offer even more compelling when you present what you do to them. Okay? So it's not necessarily about how we present. It's going to be really hard for us to present that value unless we know what that client is like striving for. So, what are their goals? And then the other piece of that is like, hey, what's going on from a challenge point? Like, what are you working through right now in the business, right? And don't assume their challenges. Ask them what they are, like in their world, right? Um, so maybe they say that they're having trouble finding talent. They're having trouble hiring. That's a common one, right? But don't assume it. We have to ask it and find out and listen to how they're communicating about it and what their language is. Because when we know how they speak about it, we can communicate similarly to them, and they can understand we we can kind of mirror their communication and really show that we understand, that we're listening, and that we're empathetic. That goes right into the next point, right? So we want to be actively listening on the call and really show that we care. And when we're asking these macro level questions about their goals and about their challenges, about their dreams and ambitions, uh, that's going to really convey a lot of care. Okay. And the caring equals value. Like that's what people feel like is missing. I mean, I don't know. Let me know if you guys are seeing this, but I know that there's a lot of people that are leaving other firms and other accounting business, other tax businesses now because they don't feel like they're getting the support and the care that they want. Okay. So listen, right? Ask questions. Look, be curious. Don't just seem curious, but like be curious when you're finding out about what's going on in their business. And by understanding and uncovering that stuff, it's going to help you to present your service in a powerful way. Um, so that goes into the next point. So present your service in a way that stands apart from the competition. So um, we want to, instead of just saying, well, hey, so we can do your bookkeeping, we can knock that out. We do that, it'll be $4.99 a month, right? So that's one way that we're doing it. And then we're just strictly saying, here's our service, here's the price, right? And if maybe we dive into the features a little bit, like, okay, you'll get, we'll do monthly reporting for you. We'll send the reports out monthly to you, and it's $4.99 a month, and you have access for support. Okay, so that's one way to do it, right? But that's what can lead to price shopping if we're just focused on service, feature, right? But we actually want to share, the big picture process of what we do. Whether this can work for accounting, this can work for tax, this can work, we do this with advisory services, but we want to share a process of like kind of the step by step and paint that narrative of what we're going to do for them and connect the benefits that are important to them. Okay, because we've asked those questions about their challenges, about their goals, and yes, about why they switched from their last provider, we're going to have everything that we need to know when we go to present to really communicate that value. So let me just give an example. So hey, the first thing so the first step of the process is we're gonna come in, we're gonna do a thorough analysis and assessment into your accounting systems and your business systems. So that way we make sure that your data is accurate and we know exactly where we're starting from with you. Okay. So that way you have a good starting point. So we know how far we have to get to hit those goals that you have for 24, like scaling to 7 figures. Does that sound good? Does that sound valuable for you? Cool. Okay, so that's how you that's how we can really paint that picture of, we're adding in the benefits of what they're getting. So now they have more clarity towards their goals, and then we're adding specificity of so that you can scale from 6 to 7 figures, right? So we're really communicating what they want specifically. Okay, huge. Huge. This will put you guys so apart because nobody's, no one's really doing this. Okay. Uh, um, I went to the dentist today, right? And I had like a decent size, I had a decent size bill after it, and I was there for like 90 minutes, right? And probably more than what many of us pay for an hour, right? Or charge per hour. And before they started it, right, somebody came in and actually walked through the features and talked about each specific benefit and why that is important. Well, this is important, so we're going to do this so that you have longevity for your teeth, or longevity for your gums, or whatever, right? But he walked through 5 or 6 different things and actually mentioned the benefits of each one. Okay. And really, it's a hell of a salesman, honestly. I was impressed. So, really good example there, but we should be doing the same thing when we're selling and communicating the value of our services. Okay. Um, Post sales, when a client comes on board, I'm not going to touch on this too much, but um, onboarding experience, making sure that they feel seen, heard, appreciated when they come in from the jump. They have clarity on action items and what they need to do to get the ball rolling. That's huge. Just getting the ball started on the right foot. That's a big part of the battle. I don't know if battle is the right word, but yeah. Um, Client support, like you can deliver really good client support, setting good expectations on response times. And also, guys, it's not just about being at your phone 24/7 and having to respond to your clients every 3 seconds. That's not what it's about. It's super important. The best way that you're going to be able to show up for your clients and to deliver the best service is maintaining your own and your team's boundaries. Okay. Because if you're jumping in and answering emails all day and phone calls all day, you're not going to be able to focus on the big picture macro things that are going to help improve profitability of the firm and the client experience overall, and service delivery overall. Right? Makes sense? If you guys are following this, please put comment below. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If you guys are vibing with this, let me know. Like, I'm here for you. I want this to make sense for you. I'm trying to take, these things that I think a lot of you guys have heard a lot, and I'm trying to make them more as practical as I can. So if you guys have any questions or lack of clarity on any of this, let me know. And I will clarify it. Okay. Let's see. Positioning, I don't know if I'm just gonna go with this. So we want to look at the avatar a little bit, right? Like, who are we attracting in our marketing and our messaging? Just who's coming our way. I bet more people try to negotiate the price at a diner than a Ruth's Chris, right? And I'm sure that's the case. Well, why is that? And that's positioning. Denny's, a restaurant like Denny's or a diner or something like that, is competing on value, competing on price, right? It's competing on price. Ruth's Chris is competing in a different way, and that's with quality and experience, and there's probably some personalization that goes on there, that's going on with that as well. Um, so that they have positioned themselves in that way to attract that type of client. Okay. So that will I'm going to come back to that in a second, because this is, like, I would say, not the most important thing, but it is important. And that's messaging in your content and promo materials, and what are the problems that we're talking about. Okay. But before that, the number one way that we can position our services for them so that it really fits like a glove is what we talked about earlier. It's finding out what they want, finding out what their goals are, and position what you do as a way to help them in that pathway to getting there. Okay. Because whether or not, you guys are accounting, financial, tax professionals, you guys have an effect on profitability of a business. I think we can all agree with that. You guys can help improve the bottom line. You guys can help get the owner out of the day-to-day. You can help them save more time. And that's directly and indirectly. You guys can help them with valuable advice and feedback. You guys can can help them improve their profits. And when they have more profits, they have more to reinvest in things like advertising and labor and team and systems and operations and client experience for their clients. So all the, those are all things that you can help with, right? And you can help with things like helping them to take maybe they want to take a vacation twice a year, right? Like those are the kind of things we want to know, because then we can really say, hey, we can help you do that through our service, right? Okay. Like we're going to help you on that pathway. So, and then just back into the messaging in your content. So let's focus on the pain points that premium clients are going to worry about, right? So they probably, your premium clients are probably going to want more care, more support, know that you're in their corner, right? A holistic approach to solving their problems. Like you look at the big picture. No accountants are doing that, guys, but you could, you're not just looking in the weeds, you're looking at the big picture, right, with them. Okay. You in your content, you could be talking around pain points that are more about scaling and bringing in team members, rather than like maybe just getting started or, trying to land, get off the ground. Like those are probably two different avatars that you're talking to, right? So ask yourself, like, what message is my ideal client going to resonate with? Okay. Wrapping up here, the third component that I want to talk about maybe and probably is the most important is mindset. And I could do like a whole separate training on this. I probably should do multiple. So on that note, I will. Okay. But I love this quote. Don't don't assume don't assume what your client's going to say yes to, what your prospect's going to say yes to. Don't think about what you could afford. Don't think about what you can afford. Don't sell with your own wallet. Um, we don't, and this is good, like we don't know our own superpowers. So in our mind, we tend to undervalue our own services. So we really need to remind ourselves of like how we've added value in the past and how we can add value in the future for our clients. And I really like the idea of going through big past wins that you've had for clients. Maybe you've had a conversation that helped a client, fix a big problem in their business, or help, get more clarity on what they need to focus on in their business, or maybe you help them solve a huge tax problem. Make that win list for yourself and just, keep that close by. So you remember, like, I do some like, incredible work. And I think even very established business owners, we can get like, confidence issues or imposter syndrome or like, the world's burning and all that stuff. So like, I don't know if that necessarily goes away. So it is good to keep reflecting, keep remembering the positive and the wins. Okay. And thirdly, just remember, we're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and that's completely okay. We don't want 100% close rate. We don't want 100% of people to say yes. I know we want approval, right? But that's going to be a net negative for the business, right? We're not trying to close everybody. We want a high profit scalable firm. So some people are only going to be focused on price, right? And that's it. Like, I don't care about anything else. I don't care about anything else. Just price, just price, just price. And like that's not going to be an ideal client. So that's okay. Let them go. Maybe you have a low cost provider that you can send them over to. But there's no way with globalization now and the way that things are virtual now, like if somebody wants to find a cheaper option, they will find a cheaper option. Okay. So let's not play that game anymore. Let's focus on positioning ourselves differently. Let's differentiate ourselves. Let's do this. What follow-up questions do you guys have for me? Hopefully you can tell, I'm pretty damn passionate about this. Okay. I've been working on this for 4 or 5 years plus now. So, yeah, let me know what follow-up questions you guys have. Anything, here for you all. I appreciate you all so much. Have an amazing New Year. If I don't do another live, I probably won't before New Year's. Happy 2024. If you guys want to do a deep dive together into working on this stuff, or if there's something else that related in terms of wanting to scale your firm, like let's talk about it. I'm not a hard pushy sales type. I'll jump on a call. Of course, we're looking for clients, but at the end of the day, like I'm here to help. I want to help people. Okay. So the link's here to book a call. I'll happy to talk to you. And then I put our YouTube chat link here too. So perfect. Hope this was helpful, guys. Appreciate you all so much. And see you next time, okay? Bye.